Okay, what we're just going to look at very quickly today is what we call smart client management. And what we're looking at is trying to create the ideal customer journey. Now, typically businesses have a customer journey that takes 4 phases on the whole. So you have first what we call lead generation, where you collect contacts of people that could potentially be your clients. A sales process that, depending on your product, could be a long sales process or fairly short. And then the implementation, the actual providing the service or a product to the client. Now, if we look at some real numbers here, let's say that as a business we're spending £1,000 in a month, and it's taking 10 hours of sales staff time to generate leads. So if we generate leads, they would produce, let's say, approximately 100 leads, and that converts then through the sales process into 10 actual clients. Now, our target for the year may suggest that we actually need 20 clients. So what most businesses will do, they'll go back to this phase and they'll think, right, to get 20 clients, we need to double the number of hours we spend, for our sales staff spend, or double the spend on the lead generation. But I'm going to suggest a different approach, because as we see from these waste bins we've placed here, each of these phases can be quite wasteful. So if you start from this part, the lead generation, many companies will use more than one source of leads, that's fine. So you'd be collecting business cards from business meetings, from expos, conferences, or from networking events. Information or recommendations may come in through word of mouth, and you have websites or social media channels through which you provide information about your service. So people may visit these websites and social media, you may be receiving these contacts, but not all of them will move on to become actual leads. People may visit the website and not interact with it at all. Same with social media. You may be getting a huge number of contacts in through a certain sales meeting, but are not following up with them. So many of those will fall by the wayside. Similarly, in your sales process, most sales processes are very good at processing hot leads, but this is the easy part. They are the ones that are ready to buy, so that when they find your product or service, they're ready to process the sale. They're not as good at dealing with warm sales, people who may need a little bit more education about your product or service, people who may need some time or may not be in the right phase, or it won't be the right time for them. And similarly for cool leads, those that, though they fit into your ideal target market, may not be ready for whatever reason to buy immediately. So as I said, we will be hitting the hot prospects, but many who could still potentially be clients are falling into the wastebasket. And then you look at your customers. Here, it's not just losing customers, and that's important, it's losing value from those customers. So let's consider this figure from a study quite recently, where a company surveyed a great deal of consumers and identified they were giving their reason why they would stop doing business with a particular company. And that 68% figure was no particular reason. So the majority of people, if they move supplier of anything, they will do so really because of indifference. They don't see that their current supplier is really maybe paying them attention. It's not some great customer service catastrophe, it's just there's no particular reason. Another product or service or another supplier may be just better at their promotion at that stage. But also you may be losing value, so how much are we leveraging the people in our current customer lists to bring in more revenue, so from associate and premium products, or referring new business to you. So this again may be very wasteful at this stage. So if we were able to cut down the waste at each stage, then this becomes a lot more efficient, and you don't need to be increasing this spend to significantly increase the number of customers and the amount of money coming into those customers. So to do this, what we need to do is rethink this slightly. So instead of just calling this generation, we can call this lead capture. And possibly more correctly, we're going to call it qualified lead capture. We're finding qualified leads. So we're going to provide them with something that only your qualified lead would be interested in. So this is called a lead magnet, useful information, handy guide, anything that will really identify somebody as a real prospect, and we capture their information in exchange for that. So you can use this on your website and your social media. You can contact people that you've had contact details for, and again offer them this information or this particular magnet, and only your qualified customers will respond. That immediately brings the sales, and the sales process is really all to do with nurture. So when we have people coming into this process, they are automatically sent a sequence of emails. The sequence will be nurturing them, giving them more information about the benefits of your product or service, and moving them along from becoming probably cool and warm into a hot prospect, and therefore easy to convert. We can also set it so that if they're showing particular behaviours, if they're clicking on our links, there may be a point where you think it's appropriate to call them and follow up with an email. So again, this will be a short-term nurture process that really increases the conversion of these leads into sales. And even if at this stage you do a bit of recycling, even if through that sequence they haven't converted, you then put them into a long-term nurture sequence of regular emails, so that when the point comes when they're ready to buy, you are the company that's front of mind. And then here, well, this is really all about being really good at customer service. And what we're aiming to do is to delight your customers. So you make it very easy to do business with you. You welcome customers. You send them again. It's a similar nurturing process. Even after they have bought from you, you put a nurture process, which means they are never felt ignored, and that they're being provided with all these benefits from your process. And during that ongoing nurture that remains while they're part of your company, or they're part of your customer base, they are being provided with opportunities to give feedback, which you can then use, opportunities to refer you to other people, and opportunities to receive more benefit, so that you're really treating these in very much the same way as your prospects. You realise that they could at any point leave you, so you treat them well and you delight your customers. So all well and good, of course, but how do we put this into place? Well, our smart client management packages do this. We look at the plan first of all. How would you currently do this? How we can fit this into an automated system, putting the software in place, setting up, implementing, and then supporting you in ongoing process, and of course reviewing this process regularly. So if you want to find out more, book a call, visit the website, and we can show you how this could be applied to your business.